purposely hit the go live, but we are going live. Welcome to Breakfast with Michele and Emrys, who doesn't want to take her pill. She probably just wants food. Doing some toast this morning. It's just easier. Anyway, good morning. Today I want to talk to you guys about the Star Princess. If you're not new here, I'm wearing glasses because I hurt my eyeball and I can't wear contacts. So I'm very sorry for the glare that's going to happen. If you are new here though, my name is Michele. I'm a travel advisor. I do only cruises and I'm pretty much specialized just in princess cruises these days. If you're Canadian, I do have a Facebook group. Go check that out. It's meant for Canadians. I also do group cruises, so I have, if you're Canadian or American at most states, there's certain states I can't do it, but most states looking to go to Mexico, we have a group cruise going to Mexico, and then we have Alaska going in 2026, but Mexico is in April 2025. Anyway, let's talk about, oh, is she gonna take her pill? Oh, there we go. Let's talk about the new Star Princess. So this is Princess Cruises' newest ship that has yet to officially launch anywhere. The Sun Princess is their current new ship. Right now they are actually doing their press media trip, which I'm jealous because I had a chance to get on that ship and I couldn't make it work. Anyway, so I should be on the Sun Princess right now, but I'm not. Anyway, I'm a little bitter. Anyway, Star Princess, I'm probably gonna call it Sun Princess a few times just from my brain being like Sun Princess, Sun Princess. But the Sun Princess has had a lot of hiccups with their inaugural year. So they canceled a bunch of inaugural cruises. People were so miffed because they were last minute cancellations. Princess did not handle that very well at all. There's the big Park 19 area that was supposed to be this new concept for Princess that nobody really wanted because Princess is not a theme park on the ocean. It's not how they roll. Are you gonna shake the table? Yeah, okay. So nobody was really, I'm sorry. No one was really excited for Park 19. I mean, there was probably people that were, but most Princess fans were not excited for Park 19, myself included. So that was a disaster because they couldn't get it safetied and whatnot, so they're actually disassembling that at some point. The show's not being ready, food venues not being ready. They just had an incredibly horrible launch of the Sun Princess. And they have now delayed the Star Princess. So the Star Princess was supposed to launch August 2025. We are going on the Sun Princess July and August next year. We're doing a 21-day, and during that 21-day cruise, they were launching the Star Princess, and it was like, oh, that would be cool to see. Our ports weren't lining up or anything like that, but either way, we were like, Star Princess, it's going to be launching then. But they have announced they have postponed that now until October. October 4th is now the inaugural cruise. And it'll be interesting to see how well that launch goes because they've pre-delayed it, knowing that how horribly the sun went. Because then they can do some of their media stuff before, which is what they usually do. Like Royal Caribbean and other cruise lines usually do their media press events before they have their inaugural cruise. It just allows them to get a little bit more time to get all those like shows and stuff figured out. So hopefully the launch of the Star Princess will go much smoother now that they've delayed it to October. It means that there's unhappy people that wanted to be on the inaugural cruise that couldn't, but it also gave them chances to reschedule versus, oh, by the way, next week your cruise is canceled, which I do not recommend booking an inaugural season at all. I just don't. With the Star, I'm a little bit more like Christmas time. I think it'll be fine. Like, give it a couple months. I think it'll be fine. I also think that like with the shows and technology and stuff that was new to the Sun that they are going to have on the Star, because the Sun and the Star are both Sphere class ships. And so a lot of the hiccups that they worked out with the Sun, I think will be fine for the Star because they've already learned a lot from the Sun. So like December onwards, I have no problem, but like that October, November, I wouldn't be booking for. just because you just never know. It's not always a great situation with inaugural cruises. And be prepared for the whole year to have some issues with stuff. It's just, that is brand new ship stuff. And it's to be expected. It's not a Princess issue, but the nonsense that happened with the Sun, I'm hoping will not be happening with the Star because they've delayed that. So the Star will be starting off in Barcelona, and there's just a few cruises that they're doing in Barcelona in October. And they were originally obviously having more because that's where they're going to be cruising starting in August all the way to October, but things obviously didn't work out. So they are cruising from Barcelona for a couple cruises in October, and then they are heading on over to Fort Lauderdale, and Fort Lauderdale will be its winter home. It will be cruising around the Caribbean, Eastern Caribbean, Western Caribbean, and that's where I was saying about like the holiday cruises, like the Christmas cruise, the New Year's cruises, those are happening Eastern Western, back-to-back Eastern Western cruises, very similar to what we are actually doing on the Sky this year. We're doing a back-to-back Eastern Western, and so those are beautiful cruises going from Fort Lauderdale. Very straightforward, all that kind of stuff. It's not a huge ship, so I don't anticipate it having issues with sizing like the Icon of the Seas is having with some ports. But yeah, so that's what it's doing for the winter time. And then Princess has announced that it is heading up to Alaska. I was so excited. I don't see an itinerary of it getting to Alaska. Because it might be too big to go through Panama Canal. It might be going around the bottom. I don't know. I don't know how they're planning on getting it to Alaska. But there's no cruise itinerary for that. So it might be like Skeleton Crew, that kind of stuff. But then it is going from Seattle, occasionally Vancouver, like there's a Vancouver, Seattle run. Anyway, it is doing Alaska. And if you know anything about me, I love Alaska. Alaska is my absolute favorite cruise. We are doing 3 weeks in Alaska in 2026. We're doing one group cruise and then 2 weeks on our own. And I might try to squeeze another weekend. My brother and I were talking about this yesterday, being like, can we do another 2 weeks, 1 week? Can we squeeze another week in there? Because we just love Alaska so much. It is what I specialize in. I don't know what my brother's doing downstairs, but there's stuff being moved. Anyway, so it is going to Alaska. Because it is a little bit on the bigger side, it'll be interesting to see what it needs to do, like how often is it tendering, especially the ports like Juneau where you often are tendering as it is. As it is obviously a bigger ship than like the Grand class, which is what we sailed on with the Crown, and what we're sailing on in 2026. So we're sailing on the Crown, or the Emerald, and the Coral. The Coral is small. That's the ones that tend to do Panama Canals and world cruises and stuff like that. But like Discovery goes up there all the time. They have Royal class ships, which are kind of in between the Grand and the Sphere class ships. But it'll be interesting to see how often it ends up being the one that has to tender. But yeah, so then it's heading up to Alaska. Like I said, it's going from Seattle. Seattle's not my favorite to go from as a Canadian, just because I think Vancouver is a more convenient place. But you can, Princess actually has shuttles from the Vancouver airport to Seattle, and vice versa, Seattle airport to Vancouver. So if you're interested in cruising to Alaska and you're American, Seattle might be the better bet. But for Canadians, Vancouver, I love Vancouver. I'm looking forward to going there. I will say, like, this is side chat because that's what I do on my lives. But so we have a side by side. So a side by side is when you get off one ship and you go on another ship. And then we also have a back-to-back that year. So a back-to-back is when you stay on the same ship and you go on for more than one cruise. So we are doing that on the Sky, for instance. We are doing a back-to-back over the Christmas break. We are doing an Eastern Caribbean, staying on the ship in Fort Lauderdale, and doing a Western Caribbean. We also have that on the Sun Princess. We are doing Mediterranean, the Greek side of the Mediterranean. We are staying on the ship and then doing the like France, Spain side of the Mediterranean. So we're not technically staying on the ship that day because we're going to Rome, but we are on the ship, same room. We don't have to pack up or anything like that. Side by side though, like you're switching ships. So I have never had it before where I've booked a side by side. Back to backs, yes. Back to backs are easy peasy. And so I was curious how it was going to work out in the app. especially because there's a day in between. So we are getting off the Emerald Princess, we are staying a night in Vancouver, and then we are getting on the Coral Princess. And the app doesn't know how to handle that. The app basically is like, you have a really long cruise on the Emerald. And we're like, but where's the Coral Princess information? Like, we know the ships well enough that we don't really need the ship map and all that. And I'm guessing once we're on board, it will kind of figure itself out and be like, oh, here's the map for the ship you're actually on. It was just funny that it like mushed it into one cruise. Yeah, but the Star Princess, yes, I'm excited for the Star Princess. I think it will launch way better than the Sun Princess did. I think the shows will do better. I still don't like this class of ship. I'm just gonna put that out there. I do not like the theaters. The arena looks like a horrible viewing from 2/3 of it. I think, especially if you follow D&J from ParaDJ, they just got off the Sun. There was some delays because of Milton, but they did the transatlantic, and so their videos are now coming out. So their videos are so good because they really give you a feel of the ship, and this is who we watch a lot of when we want to know how does the ship feel in a day-to-day kind of way. Because ship tours are great. We do ship tours, but we also do vlogs. Seeing vlogs for us, it makes us just like, you can get a better feel for the ship and stuff. So watching their vlogs, like that arena, oh man, that arena. And yes, they try to play to all sides, so it's a round arena with like, there's like, really? So it's a round arena with a stage, and so, but you have seating in the round as well. So it's a lot harder if you are sitting on the sides. Come here, come here, come here. If you are sitting on the sides, it is really hard to see. And they try to play to the sides, they really do. But like the main action is happening in the front. And I don't like that. And D&J said that they were doing 3 shows, the 2 evening ones plus a matinee the next day. But the arena is also small. Like for the amount of passengers on this cruise, like it's just, yeah, it's not my favorite. Like, get Premier. That's my solution for clients. It's like if you on the Sun or on the Star, get Premier. Then you have the Premier seating and your guaranteed spots to show up at a reasonable time, and they are good seats, all that kind of stuff. I think if you are on those ships, highly recommend that. I also highly recommend the Sanctuary Collection. Oh my goodness, I talked about this in another video. But anyway, let me talk about more about the Sun or the Star, and then I'll get back to the Sanctuary Collection stuff. But yeah, so the arena is a horrible venue, in my opinion. The Dome is also another venue that they're doing shows, also a horrible venue. Another one that does not have a lot of seating. And there's like glass barriers that block view, is kind of how it is. It just is not a good venue. And yeah, I'm sure some people love it. I am not a fan of it. Also, I'm glad they're getting rid of the Park 19 stuff. I was not a fan of that ever. So on the Star Princess, it's funny because it just says unannounced public area. They haven't said what they're going to do with it on the Sun even. I haven't had any news or anything like that of what that's changing into. But yeah, we'll see when they make those changes. Yeah, so I just don't like the venues on the Sun. Also, I don't like where the buffet is. It's on deck 9. It's not a logical place. Yeah, like you get used to it, but like if you're coming from the forward elevators, you have to walk through staterooms to get to it. It's just, and then the International Cafe, which is like their 24-hour like mini food venue, is right outside the buffet. So why? Why do you have food beside food? The great thing with International Cafe on the other ships, it's right in the piazza. So if you're in the piazza for an event, an activity, a show, whatever, you can get food. Coffee Currents is somewhere down there, but whatever. Is it Coffee Currents? Might be mixing up my ships, but no, Coffee Currents is their new kind of thing, which is like a smaller version of that. But anyway, I don't like the Sun. We're gonna do 21 days on it just so I can experience it, and I mean we wanted the itinerary. It's 21 days, 3 sea days, and a heck of a lot of ports we'll end up seeing 8 countries. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the food. They have like the Lido food and stuff, but I'm just like, the venues aren't great. Especially my daughter has special needs and mobility issues. So our choices of seating are limited. Even on the Sky, we were looking at the theater on the Sky and trying to figure out where we could position ourselves that we could actually still see, but also she can be contained and safe and other people safe from her, because she'll pull people's hair if she's behind them. So yeah, Sanctuary Collection, let me just talk about that super quick. So if you are on the Sun or the Star, highly recommend the Sanctuary Collection. I talked about it last week a little bit, but I wanted to just mention it again now because I am talking about the Star. So they have taken on kind of away that Reserve Collection, and they have taken away the ability to purchase day passes to the Sanctuary on the Sun and the Star. This is something I really hope that they do fleet-wide. They said that if it does well on the Sun and the Star, they will do it fleet-wide. I hope they do. And that's just because I think the benefits of the Sanctuary Collection, and if they do the same thing that they're doing on the Sun and the Star, it will be amazing. It will be incredible. So they've taken away the day passes, and they made it that you have to book a Sanctuary Collection room. These are deluxe balconies, suites, and mini suites. So it's not just highest of the high. You can get a balcony and be able to be part of the Sanctuary Collection, which is amazing because so many other cruise lines, the only way you get that ship in a ship, the only way you get the elite dining and all that kind of fun, amazing service is if you book a suite. And I know suites for everyone. It's not even a price thing, it's just a space thing. Like, you don't need that much space, or you don't want that much space. We have no need. I would love to do a mini suite, a cabana mini suite, but whatever. I won't do that, but that's something I would do. But for a lot of people, they're like, well, I don't spend enough time in my room, just give me a balcony, but I want the benefits of the Sanctuary and the Sanctuary Collection. So what they've done is they've taken those day passes and they made it so you have to be in a Sanctuary Collection room to access the Sanctuary, but they've added so many more perks. So the Sanctuary itself is no longer just, here's your seat, lounge in it. They have activities in there. So they have like a calm, rejuvenating, relaxing sail away party. They have meditations, they have yoga, they have a quiet like Zen area. They have food, that like little bento box kind of food things. And all their staff for the Sanctuary Collection have been trained by the British Butler Association, which is incredible. Like, it's not just random people that they've hired, they are quality butler services that you can get with the Sanctuary Collection. And so I think that's incredible. Princess is doing a great job with that service, because other cruise lines that I've been on, service is lacking post-COVID. I get it. At first it was the whole like, oh, we're struggling to get staff, but now it's, we just are choosing not to hire staff, and we're choosing not to train our staff in a customer service forward area, which is where Princess has shined through for me, where their just service is so incredibly good. So yeah, so with, you get all that kind of relaxation and zen and calmness happening in the Sanctuary, where you have all these included activities in more of a low-key, relaxing kind of way. You then also get access to extra amenities in your stateroom. So they have, they haven't really announced what they're gonna have, but by the pictures that the travel advisor webinar, the little like, here's like a little snapshot, possibly like a robe and slippers and more premium like toiletries and stuff like that. Plus, like, your stateroom attendants are trained by the British Butler Association. I don't know if they're doing all room attendants being trained by that now. Like, if that's a fleet-wide, like, hey, we're just going to train our people really well. But I know your stateroom attendant for at least the Sanctuary Collection, based off of what I learned from the webinar, will be trained by them. So, high-class service. Also, Princess is one of the few cruise lines that are still doing twice-a-day service. Good on them. I was really surprised that they're still doing that. So they're doing their morning cleaning, and then they're doing their turn down service in the evening. We don't really need that turn down service, and we've told them that before, but they still do it. And we won't, like, if they want to do it, they can do it. But just the service we get from our room attendants is just so different on Princess than other cruise lines. And my daughter's in diapers, and so having that garbage change twice a day is great. Whereas another cruise line that shall not be named, I asked them if they could even just take out the garbage in the evening, because especially if it's very dirty diaper, I don't want that in the room. And they're just like, nah, it's fine. Just put in a bag. You can't just quickly stop by and it's like, can I put the garbage bag in the hall? Like, anyway. Whereas Princess is like, no, we do it twice a day at the end. So yeah, where was it going? Sanctuary collection. So your room gets upgraded amenities. You have access to the sanctuary, which the sanctuary is wonderful. I'm slightly sad that they're stopping the day passes just because that's what we've done in the past is this day passes. But now that I have a kid, I can't access that anyway. But my brother's like, maybe one day we'll do the sanctuary collection. I was like, yes. As soon as she's old enough, sure. We can't go into that area because she makes noises almost nonstop, as you've heard quite often during this. But that like calm sail away and stuff like that. Oh my gosh. And then you have access to the reserve collection dining. So I'm guessing this is why Princess kind of switched from just the reserve collection and then the sanctuary stuff. Like they kind of made it into a thing. Because the reserve collection dining, there's no wait times, there's no reservations needed. You just show up. It is still like the smart casual, so you don't have to be super fancy. Formal nights, I'm guessing they prefer you to be fancy. But it's like super gourmet meals, like meals you will not get in the main dining room. And again, it's just not having that wait time and the service. And again, all trained by the Butler Association, British Butler Association, so high class service and whatnot. So, and then if you do book a suite, you also have access to the suite club. The suite reserve club, I can't remember. They changed names of some stuff, so I can't remember what is now reserved still. There's something that's still reserved, and now everything else is sanctuary collection, but anyway, it's all part of the sanctuary collection. So if you do have a suite, you do get access to the club, which is your private concierge, high class service, high class, everything, nice, beautiful lounge. You still get access to that. The biggest thing for me and my clients, though, is the fact that you get Premier with your sanctuary collection. So I was pricing some out, and I was like, the sanctuary collection with the Premier, honestly, like cheaper or same price as just normal Premier with a deluxe balcony or mini suite. Like the pricing is not horrible. It is actually very good. So having that Premier access, which the Premier now has unlimited specialty dining. So someone could eat between the reserve collection dining or sanctuary collection dining, whatever they're calling it, the dining room that is exclusive to sanctuary collection, plus the unlimited specialty dining. You could eat somewhere different every night and never touch the main dining room. So yeah, so that's included now, casual dining, like all this stuff that was included before, which I'm going to do a whole video on, but basically drinks, gratuities, internet, casual dining, digital photos, what else? Medallion accessory. Anyway, some smaller stuff, but yeah, I'm so excited for the Star. I think the Star launch will be so much better than the Sun launch, just because they've been able to figure out some of those little interesting things that happen with the Sun. I'm also really curious to know what they're going to do with Park 19. I thought they might end up expanding the suite area or the sanctuary area, or like doing something that's like suite access only up there. But then with them doing this whole sanctuary collection thing, I was like, oh, they're not going to do that. Unless they make it into some sort of adult only area, but there's no pool. So I don't know that they could do it as some other adult only area. I mean, cause like, to be honest, like the terrace pool on the Grand Class ship is technically adult only, and the Lotus pool as well. The Lotus pool, I never had issues with seeing kids in it, but the terrace pool, in the back of the ship, always had kids in it. It's supposed to be adult only, wasn't, but yeah, so I'm curious to see. I would love for them to put in like a baby pool, a baby splash area, because there was supposed to be a splash zone there, but it never, I don't know what ended up happening with it, but I would love for them to put one in that babies in diapers could go into, but their demographic isn't there. Their demographic is not children, and it's not young children. So I highly doubt they'll ever do that, because there's like literally no reason for them to do it. It's just more because we're going to the Mediterranean for 21 days in summer, and it's going to be so hot. But my daughter is happy splashing in a bowl, so I'm not too concerned. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you are excited for the Star. Do you want to book the Star? Have you booked the Star? What do you think about the Star so far? Or is it on your list of I'm never gonna do the Star? I don't know that I will do the Star. I'll have to see how the sun goes, but I'm not really looking forward to the sun, so I don't know that I will book the Star. If I book the Star, it'll be for Alaska. That's pretty much, and I don't know what they're doing 2027, if they're planning on going back to the Mediterranean for the summer of 2027, or if they're like, no, the sun's gonna be Mediterranean and Caribbean, and the Star will be Caribbean and Alaska. Like, I don't know what their plans are, so it'll be interesting to see if they continue doing Alaska. I just don't know that I want to go on that ship. I love the Grand Class ships. I love them so much. Go check out why I love, I have a video about why I love the Crown. But we'll see. With the Royal Class ships, we're doing Sky and Discovery coming up here soon, so we'll have a good feel of the Royal Class ships, and then we're back on to the Grand Class ships. Well, Grand Class and Coral Class ships. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Check out links down below to, if you're Canadian, I have my Facebook group. If you're American, I have the group cruise stuff for Mexico in there. If you're interested in that, I think I have one room left. I might have one room left. But I can only book certain states. I can't book California, Florida, and some other one. I know those for sure, and Hawaii. Like, there's certain states that you live in that I cannot book. I can book Hawaii. I can book California. Like, I can book going to those destinations. I can't book people in those destinations. Anyway, hope that makes sense. But I also have Alaska, but that's not till 2026. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys next week. Let me know in the comments if there's a topic you want me to talk about live. Bye-bye. Oh, you're cooking already.